And it's post-par again. 31, I think.
Yes, I have no idea what we're doing in the game because we played it.
We're on Hard Island. This is up to you guys. You guys went in between the episodes and filled out the map.
Is this where the Great Fairy Fountain is?
Dude, that straight up looks like a Wind Waker Island. Look
I
at
know,
this.
yeah.
Well, yeah, because aren't the Great Fairy Islands hearts?
Yeah, they are hearts. They actually are hearts.
Oh, this is the bait. You got baited by this thing, remember?
Oh my god, this is embarrassing. No, it's like this is funny.
Yeah, I mean it was completely.
I like how games sometimes do that, but sometimes they overdo it, and I hate when games overdo it.
Overdo what?
Like the gag.
Is it gag?
Like a gag, like a funny gag, like haha. Like what game does that a lot?
Paper Mario.
Paper Mario does that a lot. Like maybe too much. I feel like I'm weird when it comes to comedy, because I'm like, there are things where you're like, okay, you overdid it. That plant destroyed you.
Kicked your ass.
Where like you can just destroy a joke by doing it over and over and over again.
But there's also the rule of 3.
I was like, the rule
What
of
is the
3.
rule of 3?
Well, like once you go past the rule of 3, it becomes.
Dave, tell him the rule of 3.
Comedy comes in 3s.
What does this mean?
So if you watch, a lot of comedy sketches actually do this. They have a reoccurring joke where they tell it the first time, and it might get a couple laughs, it might be kind of funny. But then by the third time, most people are dying
Caught
laughing.
on to the
But it
joke.
depends, doesn't it? Depend on how you do it.
Well, yes and
That's
no.
the
Like
broadest thing I've ever heard. But yes.
there's a strategy to comedy, but like that's it's kind of like a law, the rule of 3. The idea of you can string a joke 3 times, like a continual joke. Usually by the third time, the majority of the audience have caught on to it.
Yeah.
So it becomes
Funnier.
a joke.
And usually it's like when you're telling like a certain story. So then like you finish the story almost with the joke, and then you're like, boom, and then you bring energy into your next thing. It's interesting. It's a definite art form.
Damn,
Comedy, yeah.
Yeah,
comedy's hard, huh?
it is. Stand-up comedy.
Stand-up comedy. Like how do
On the
those guys
fly
do it?
comedy, I think is easy. But like when you do like stand-up, I'm like, I don't know, man.
You ever tried stand-up?
No, I don't think I'd be good at it. I think I'm funny, but I think it's very on like.
It has to be at the
topic.
moment.
Yeah, like in the moment, I can like. What is that like? What is that called? Like
Quirkiness?
there's-
Quippiness?
Like
There's a word.
off the dome, just like quick stuff.
Off
I'm
the
like,
top of my
yeah, that's
head.
funny. Like I have good stories, but my memory's shitty. I'd have to write it down. I'd have to do it, and I know they do that.
I was
know
like,
they
a lot of
actually-
them, most of the like stand-ups are literally like pages and pages of like.
Have you guys ever been to a stand-up?
I have.
Yeah. How is that? Is it that funny?
It's funny. To be fair, I went to a Daniel Sloss show, like when he was doing a Netflix special, and I went to it up in Boulder.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a really funny comedian, but he ends all of his stand-up with like a deeper message.
That's sick. I like that.
And so I like it, but also it eats all of the comedy out of the night.
Oh, because it was so funny, and now it's just so
it'll
deep.
literally be 45 minutes.
Because you leave
of,
there like
You're
well,
like,
it's
that guy blew my mind.
Because he'll tell jokes about like the same topic over and over again, and then he'll get a serious TED talk at the end of it. Because I think he did a lot about like assault. I think in that one, the particular type of assault, but like
Yeah.
and at the end he did like
Rape?
15. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like I don't
know.
want to say like.
So,
something
yeah, the way you were like, yeah.
But like he and at the end he literally had like a 15-minute TED talk about someone he knew about it, and I'm like this. Like I was having a really good time, and now I'm thinking about this.
I gotta leave with that.
And like I understand it's an important message, but I'm like I came here to laugh, and now I'm gonna leave.
now I'm crying.
And I was like I'm with my girlfriend, and now we're gonna have a deep discussion on the way back. Like I just want to talk about the funny man.
Yeah, no, I get that. Like he killed the vibe, in a way.
And like I understand, like sometimes it works, but I didn't think it worked for him.
Yeah.
Didn't this guy give you a 25?
Yeah, he did, which is awesome. Bo Burnham does that too. I was into him for a little bit, but then I think he either stopped or died down. But
Yeah, I think he kind of relaxed him doing stuff.
yeah,
I think that's harder than that.
I was like, I think a lot of them do.
I think because you're not only up there alone, but it is also live in front of a live audience as well.
Yeah, and if
there's
no
like
one's
a lot.
laughing, you gotta make them laugh.
Yeah.
You have to. And if that must suck when you're like doing a joke and then no one laughs and you're like,
Well, that's like one thing.
So I suck.
I watch a lot of like comedians like after the fact, like interviews like that.
yeah,
And like one of the things a lot of comedians say is like when you're like even like the really really funny ones go to like smaller places and studios just to test jokes, and then like yeah sometimes I was like I can be like John Mulaney and like Joe Rogan, all them, they're like these are really popular famous comedians.
yeah.
I'm like I can go somewhere and bomb.
But you gotta be really careful too.
He's like I have trusty like jokes that like I know are always gonna land. The stories are always gonna be good.
Yeah.
He's like when I'm trying to build a new show, he's like you'll spend like six weeks bombing before anyone laughs.
Yeah, so they're just like that takes some balls just to have like all of that back in your face. That's some
Also, I want to point out that Bush destroyed you and undid all the bushes.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Dude, but like imagine like those guys, right? Like Joe Rogan. They have to be so confident and like
Dedicated,
but also careful. We're like, because a lot of jokes, especially like from what I've seen, they can be racist or touchy subjects. So it's like
That's part. That's
You gotta flirt with the line.
Yeah,
that's
comedy.
comedy. Is flirting with the line.
Yeah.
it's insane.
That just reminded me of a cool quote. Have you ever heard the chicken's dedicated but the pig's committed?
No.
I've not heard that. What does it mean?
I mean, if you think about breakfast, the chicken's dedicated. It makes eggs for breakfast every day, but the pig dies for bacon.
But he doesn't want to die. He just
Yeah, but
dies.
it's like a lazy quote, but I think it's a good one. That's the difference between being
Dude, I
committed
have a lot of quotes
and being
actually.
dedicated.
I've been getting a lot of quotes from
Kinda
what's
like
its
that.
name? From Star Fox.
From Star Fox.
So like,
Making me miss this.
you guys, you played Assault, right?
I did play Assault.
Like a while ago. You've never played
It's
that
been
game?
a long time.
Like the
I
story?
played Assault.
The story.
Yeah,
Yeah, we all played.
You played the story?
yeah.
We used
It's
to
been a
all-
long time.
Dude, Pepe said something last time when I was playing it.
Try.
And by that I mean yesterday. He was like, because there's like this enemy in space that takes over people, right? And then he's like, those without strong wills can be turned to evil allies or enemies. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
And those with 20 plus max hearts are doing.
But
well for
that thing can lead to like so many things.
Can you say it again? I was more focused. Sorry. Look at me. I got max
Jesus.
HP plus 20.
It's those without strong wills can be turned to evil. That's like allies or enemies.
Yeah.
So,
If
like,
you
it
don't
doesn't
believe
matter.
in something enough, then
If you don't have
eventually
convictions,
you'll
someone
be a
else's
sheep.
someone
Yeah.
else's convictions gonna take over.
Yeah. That's so crazy. And then I started noticing because like I feel like we live in an era where we're really bitchy, where we don't really want to do anything, and it's more like we're just gonna bitch until
Until
we
we're
get what we
handed
want.
something,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's like that. Oh my god, I remember that. So this guy hits that, and then these fishes are like, "So you're funny," because that thing would
That was
keep
the rule of
activating.
three.
That was the rule of three.
Yeah, get bodied, man. But yeah, dude, that's insane. How like this era is just bitchy.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I just think politics.
Wow.
I mean, and I don't want to get into that, but I just think that there's better uses of your time. Especially, I mean,
Yeah.
you can't debate the fact that personal growth is better than. I mean, like, personal growth is going to carry you much farther. The sense of personal achievement is something that no one can hand you. No one will be able to hand you that. So, but if you get that, the things that you can do past then are anything and everything.
Yeah. Well, I feel like a lot of people don't think like that, you know? Where it's like they're always thinking about their future, but it's like, okay, but what do you want to do?
A lot of people think about the idea of the end game, but not the journey.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people, like, 'cause I have a lot of friends who, like, they have, like, these big aspirations.
Yeah.
But it's rare when someone's, like, trying their best to hawk it down.
Yeah. And those are the people, like, if you really think about it, those are the people that are more happy in life.
The ones
Oh,
who hawk
yeah.
it down. Well, it's
Yeah.
So the ones that are like, I'm doing this because I want to do it.
Even-
And it's not about the end game, it's because I like doing it.
I also think there's, like, a perspective of, like, even when, like, you're really struggling, like, I know some people who are, like, devoted to being starving artists to try and be, like, Broadway, which won't even get you, like, a ton of money.
Mhm.
Like, not like, but, like, that's their passion, that's their art. And, like, there's, like, the people who have that drive to be able to be like, I'm willing to have the suffering so I can achieve a dream. That's not even, like, it's hard to get into that, but, like,
Yeah.
something's not like, oh, you're not gonna be like Jeff Bezos, infinite money. It's like that turmoil and that stress and that, I don't know, that like the hardship of the journey makes you a fuller person.
Well, I mean, I think it just shows you who you are. Like, what do you do when something is bad? Do you complain about the situation?
Do you collapse?
Do you research on how to fix it so that it does go more in your favor?
Do you just chase it headlong until it finishes whatever it is? Like, if it's a problem, like, do you go on YouTube, watch a video about it, or do you just grab a set of tools and try to figure out how it's done?
Do you cut your ties and decide that something else is more worth your time?
Do you sit there and cry, do nothing?
Oh my god. Jesus. Are you pathetic? Huh?
No,
Don't
I
give up?
no.
No, there's no-
There's
No,
some
I know,
people who
but
that's
it's
their
true, yeah.
response. Who like
It's-
there are some people I know who like their response is to when something bad happens is to cry, and then do it.
Yeah. And there's nothing really wrong with that.
Yeah, there's nothing bad with
But
crying.
that's what I was telling you the other day, is why stubbornness, in my opinion, is not a bad thing. Because I'm the type of person that no matter how many times something doesn't work out, I'm going to keep going. Which can be good and bad in some ways, because if I don't use my brain to figure out why I'm not accomplishing what I want to accomplish, then I'm just going to keep banging my head at the same point in the door. But then if I figure it out further and further, I'm going to keep banging my head, but I'm going to get further and further every time.
Yeah.
But I'm going to keep doing it.
Like Laboon.
Yeah, I will never cut my ties.
Like I think I've seen some.
But it can be. It depends.
It does depend. It always depends.
Like I've seen some artists who have like literal depictions of that, where it's like they're not super good at things, but I think the comic is literally it's a guy hitting his face against a literal brick wall, and life is laughing at him like literally like a caricature of life.
Yeah.
And like he's doing it, and eventually it cracks. Like that might not be the best way to get around the brick wall. But if that's the way you know how to do it, and just if you can't do anything else, your efforts won't be in vain.
I'm now a master fishman, for example, because the first time I fished,
you sucked at this.
Okay, time out. No, I didn't.
Look at you.
Okay, that first one wasn't good. I don't even think the second one was that good. The second one was medium.
No,
That should have gotten him.
The game kind of cheated you.
Yeah, this crab was a bunch of garbage. The crab was lame. Anyway, let's get back to
the stuff. He's gone.
Yeah, that crab was a full butt.
What do you guys think? Do you guys believe in the phrase, work smarter, not harder?
Yeah.
What about you? I feel like you don't, and I felt it, and you're thinking about it.
I should have gotten him there. Kind of, but not really. I think that sometimes people think too much. And I think that sometimes when you literally just tell your mind no and decide what the heart wants, then you can get further that way. And then once you reach...
That's a form of working smarter.
Once you reach a point of conflict, and like you actually reach a point where you can measure in anything, in anything, then you can then work smarter. But if you're going to tell yourself, well, those odds don't add up. Like, why would I take a bet to 10 to 1 odds? It doesn't seem smart. So why would I invest, not money per se, but time into that? And it's like, well, there is that chance. But if you keep telling yourself that that's not really going to happen, then it's not going to happen. It won't happen. So then you're going to keep doing the same stuff. And when you keep doing the same stuff, you don't feel achievement. And when you don't feel achievement, then you don't feel that good about yourself. And when it comes down to quarantine, you're not feeling that good about yourself, then you don't like yourself as much.
Yeah.
And then it just goes on and on and on. And that's why I've realized in my life personally, I think the most important thing is achievement. And not even necessarily achieving being the best at something, doing something that is meaningful, but doing something that makes you feel achievement.
Not like worldly achievement.
Yeah, like I don't like if I wanted to act per se, if I reach a certain point in my acting where I feel achieved as a person, and that could just be a school play, then I felt the achievement. So it doesn't matter what anyone else does. No one can give you self-worth. No one. And people really think that they can. And then people live this life where I don't get how you can't just commit to something 100% and just do it and do it and do it and do it until you continue to fail. And then once you do it, that's like Rock Lee. He's a genius of hard work. He's not the smartest guy, but he's a genius of hard work. And that's why everyone's like, that's why everyone loves him. That's why everyone loves him.
Yeah, but he sucks.
But he sucks.
Until he gets put aside.
Yeah, then Shippuden happens, but
damn, that guy sucks. Man, that Naruto did us wrong. Man, they made me believe one thing, and then they were like, no,
yeah,
it's not like that. It's literally talent.
I kind of refused to believe that.
Yeah, but that's the sad truth. Because Naruto was supposed to be this guy. Naruto was Rock Lee.
Yeah.
He started as Rock Lee, but then it's like, no, you're not Rock Lee. You're a god. You don't have to do this.
I would argue that. Well, how much time?
What do you mean argue that?
So okay, we have a lot of time. Okay,
yeah. What do you want to argue, man? Naruto was literally Sasuke, but he didn't even know that.
Yes.
And I hated that show. I'm like, you guys made me relate to this guy because he's a failure, but it turns out, no, he was actually given everything.
If you check Naruto, for example, or like Naruto, not Shippuden, just Naruto the series, not the character.
Yeah.
But Naruto in Naruto series, then he was hard work. And
in the first one?
He was mental and physical hard work, where he would like do everything as hard as he could.
Yeah.
Mentally, he would be out there longer than anyone else. He would die just to get a little bit better, a little bit closer to what he wanted.
Yeah.
So even though he had the talent behind him, without him knowing that makes him Rock Lee. So for those early years, he was the hard-working guy that I grew to love as a guy, and then at the end they're like, no, he's a god. He's actually a god. I'm like, oh god. I mean,
But it's the mindset, I guess, that counts.
Yeah,
Because if he didn't have that, even if he didn't have that mindset, he'd probably be good.
Ooh, that's another thing I think about is these talent gold mines that people don't realize they have. Like, do you realize that? Who do you think is the best? I don't know. What's something relatable? Who do you think is the best singer of all time? Just saying
That's
it.
a
It
hard
doesn't even
question.
have to be.
I can't really.
How about I just say Frank Sinatra, even though it's definitely not true.
Okay.
Definitely not true.
Freddie.
Or,
I was thinking Freddie, but
okay, Freddie. We'll go with Freddie.
sure.
Freddie's a good singer.
Of all time, and we're saying that now. How many people? This world has more than 7 billion people on it. How
Living
many
on it right now?
Yes.
Yes.
How many people do you think could have been better than Freddie? In
we
that
don't
whole
know.
time?
I don't know. I don't know.
Probably a lot.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Nobody decided to pick up a mic. That could be for a bunch
Well,
of reasons.
Yeah.
what if all those people picked up something else and was good at something else?
Yes, but I'm just saying, like, you could be a genius at something and not even know. You could have the
That's
genes
true.
to be a perfect drummer. You
Or
could have the
perfect
genes.
athlete.
I think that I would be a great drummer, by the way. But that's just me.
His
I think I
whole,
would.
His whole life he's been asking for a drum set.
I think I'd be great.
Get a drum set.
I will at some point. I definitely will.
Drums are sick, man.
I mean, but that's the same thing too. Is like you were saying, if I'm not 100% passionate about something to start it, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I'm a so-called genius at it, because if I wanted drums, I would go get drums.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
But
I'm
you're
not
like,
that motivated, so-
I feel like I'd be good, but
Yeah.
I don't really care.
But that's something during quarantine I've experienced too. Is like there's so many different avenues where you could spend your time, and it's so interesting. Just use your different things of creativity and different stuff, and it's just, I don't know.
No, yeah, I get that.
There's a lot to life,
But that's the point of it. It's like you got to do what makes you happy.
Yeah.
Not what makes others happy.
yeah. But I disagree with that.
Why?
What?
How?
Well, I mean, you should do.
No,
stuff-
go ahead. Tell me, because I'm interested.
You should do stuff that makes you happy, but I think every now and again you need to do stuff that does not make you happy.
Why?
Well, no. That's not what he said, though. He said what makes other people happy.
Yeah.
What? Say it again.
I said what matters is do stuff that makes you happy, not others happy. Because a lot of the times, believe it or not, people do stuff that they don't want, but it's because, well...
I think
I
that's
was talking about that the other day, about how a lot of people right now in this day and time cannot afford to put anyone besides themselves as the best person in their, or as the most important person in their life. They can't.
Yeah, because you have to.
Literally.
In a way, you have to.
I was like,
You have to.
I think a lot of people do the exact opposite, where they don't understand that. Especially when it comes to, I think, relationships where you're trying to be healthy with people.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that, like, if I put my all into trying to be with this person, make them happy, and all these things like that, it's gonna drive away from you. Like, I find, like, especially when it comes to, like, my relationships, if I'm not okay, if I'm not both happy, if I don't want to do these things, it's gonna bring down everything else. Like, I can try my best, but I'm still gonna have, like, I can't give 100% if I'm at 80.
Yeah, you can't.
I can give that
And
80%,
you really shouldn't either.
but
'Cause that can be bad.
yeah.
It's weird.
Well, that's another thing, is like stubbornness in a relationship. Like, I mean, not to bring up past relationships,
No,
but
yeah.
I was definitely in a relationship longer than I should have been because I was stubborn enough to think that I could make it work.
No, dude, a lot of people.
Yeah,
have
no,
done
a
that.
lot of people.
I've done
Relationships are the craziest thing. But that's something, is like some people will get in relationships with people, and that's their number one, and they're their number two. Believe it or not,
Like themselves.
They
Yeah,
are their
no,
own number
yeah.
two.
Yeah.
And that's
then
not good.
You don't know how to care for someone if you don't know how to care for yourself.
Yeah.
You don't. And like people think they do, and it's like you actually do not. It's in the definition. So
Not only that, but that can make your other, like, your partner be, like, less attracted to you when you do stuff like that. Because I've noticed when, like, you ever see the girl, you're like, oh, and like she doesn't talk to you, but once she like talks to you, you're like, well, now I don't really find you attractive. It's weird, but this is the story, by the way.
Yeah.
Also,
by the
we
way,
found
yeah,
Luigi.
it's
He
big.
keeps thinking he finds Princess Peach's castle's key, and he keeps finding other places.
I mean, he found an important key this time around.
he found an important key last time too.
Well, isn't this like
It is true.
this is where they were made, dude? Okay, hold up, we gotta talk about this because this is actually big for the
This is a
story
big story.
of the whole game.
Yeah, look,
I was folded here by my brother, so it turns out he made her, right?
Like, he was made, and then he made her.
Yeah.
It's like, what is this reminding me of? There's a lot of stories that go.
That does remind me of something.
I don't know what. There's a story that's like maybe Orochimaru in a way. Like third Hokage,
Fullmetal
like
Alchemist with father.
it might be
Yeah.
that. Yeah, no, it actually is that. Yeah, I was like, it was reminding me of something, but yeah, that's what it is. Where it's like the creation is like, well, no, I want to do this now because it's better. It's like, okay.
Yeah. I like his little throne in the corner.
I actually had I read this before this. I actually had a recent. I played a lot of D&D, and I write my own campaigns.
Yeah.
And we had the idea of we made large animatronic owls, like the characters, that were made by like I think it was like elves and dwarves. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And their whole thing is they want to make their area, like they have a mansion they look over, perfect. So they're constantly making more animatronics, and the more animatronics they make, it just kind of spirals out.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. It's just something I thought about that. Like the creating. What is their vision for a creation as a creation?
That is crazy.
That's straight up Mewtwo too.
Yeah.
Mewtwo, like
Yeah,
they
what,
made
what,
him
is,
like
what was
Pokemon.
what was his quote? Like, what is the value of life if not what you do with it, not how the circumstances of what you were made?
No, but
Isn't that close to it?
it's close to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, dude, that quote is sick. I must have it around here. Where it's
Yeah,
like
I'm messing
or like
him up.
Parthenax. Yeah, I like Parthenax. You ever hear Parthenax's quote?
no.
Who's
The-
Parthenax?
It
Yeah,
is
I
from
don't know
Skyrim. It is a dragon.
I see.
But
Dude, I feel like you're a nerd.
Oh, he is. He's a
Cause
nerd.
like
nerd.
I feel like I'm just a Nintendo nerd and anime, but then there's like those other guys that are like the newer gen of nerds, where they're like the Skyrims.
I want to play
the-
Skyrim. That's on my bucket list.
It's really
I
good.
could get down with that. I like what is it called?
Open world?
Eldrin.
Eldrin?
Eldrin. I love that time.
Eldrin?
That's Lord of the Rings time period.
That's the time period.
No, it's Elvish and that kind of art style of like more medieval fantasy,
Oh, okay.
high fantasies.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something about that time period that's just
Game
good.
of Thrones. Yeah. It's just like raw. So raw of a timeline. I love it.
I see now. Oh, this is
Yeah.
Mewtwo.
Yeah.
I see now that the circumstances of one's birth are irrelevant. It is what you do with the gift of life that determines who you are.
I pretty much said that in a different way.
Yeah, yeah. You literally said it.
I switched it.
Yeah, you like completely around with it. Yeah.
If you take one message away from this whole thing, listen to Mewtwo.
Dude, Mewtwo was on some.
Or
Yeah,
Parthenax.
something.
I haven't said the Parthenax quote. He says, "Is it better to be born good or to overcome great evil to be good?"
Second one.
So
I don't know, man.
That's an
Like, it's so
achievement.
weird.
Oh yeah, because Parthenax's whole thing is he's an evil like general from a dragon, like old dragon civilization.
Yeah.
But like he overcame his evil to help people, but he's still seen as evil because he's still
So he's
the
Snape?
same guy. No, Snape was never evil.
No, but he seems evil. He seems
Well, no,
evil.
no, this guy was actually evil. So
Vegeta.
he overcame great evil to become good, and so the idea of like his character arc is it better to just be born good and be a hero like from your nature, or to overcome your nature to become good?
I mean, I don't think anyone's born evil, but that.
No, I think some people are born evil.
and
Really?
there you go.
I think some people are born.
How?
Some people just don't have the right clicks.
I don't think that. I think it's people are just.
But I also don't think it's
Forced.
like I don't think it's like a normal person would be born evil.
Well, I mean, yeah, my thing is, I don't know.
I think
kind
it's
of a
just
weird
all
thing.
perspective.
Yeah.
Because people are born in shitty places, and I'm like, I know why you're mad all the time.
But they're all
I
just
get it.
objectively evil people.
I don't know if.
But I think that's nurture, not.
Yeah, I don't think people are born evil.
But
I think it. Well, like, are you talking like genes?
no, I'm not necessarily that. Just like sometimes people have like not like.
So you're saying people are born and they're like, I want to kill people. Why?
Some
I don't
people are born just like something's up. Like they have maybe a chemical imbalance, and not necessarily
That's a
genes.
I mean, it's chromosomes. It's.
Well,
genes.
it could be a mutation. It wouldn't necessarily be genes. Genes would be your parents. So your parents could be normal people, and some serial killers are born from normal people. Like it's not necessarily genes as much as like sometimes
but-
the people are just born something is wrong.
I suppose.
I don't know.
But
I feel like that's
don't
all
agree.
bull. I feel like, oh, he's only doing that because he was born bad. It's like, no, he's doing that because he's a douche.
Well, yeah.
Like that's why he's doing
Well,
that.
you can be born that way, but you're still evil. Your actions like are still evil.
I
Like you can't be like, oh, this serial killer was born as a serial killer. You can't take that away from him. Like, no, he's still an evil person. The acts were still evil.
yeah, but I think there's something that drives him to do that, and that's because life hit him somewhere that we won't ever know. Because obviously, I don't think people are going to share why they do stuff, right? They're going to be like, it feels good. No, it feels good because you're hiding from something. Or, you know what I mean? I don't think people are just born like, I'm evil. Like, no, you're made evil. And I feel like
It's
people...
society.
Yeah, society can drive people crazy.
Live in a society.
Dude, this is, like, society, like, especially with the internet, Jesus
Very
Christ.
gross.
It's very nasty. I'm like, I see some stuff, I'm like, why? And then, I don't know. It's weird. Temptation, man.
Temptation's a crazy thing.
Do you guys? Okay, this might get a little deep.
So?
Oh
We've been deep all
my
week.
god, we've been deep. Like, yeah.
We've been deep
Do
all
you
this
guys-
week.
Do you
So
guys?
far.
Do you guys think you have the potential of like an evil potential?
If I wanted to, yes. Like, I could be evil. I could be a douche if I wanted to. But do I want to? No, because it doesn't make me happy. You know?
It's like I had that discussion recently with
Like, I feel like people choose when they're like,
some friends were like, we were talking about like, could you kill someone?
yeah.
Not like, would you feel good about it? Because like, I think I would have the ability to, but I think it would. I don't think no matter even if it was like a super evil person, the loss of life I think would mess me up, like mentally.
I think I could kill someone.
I don't think it would mess me up. Well, I mean, it would mess me up, but I don't know.
Look at this Diamond Island real quick.
Yeah, it's kind of
This
nice.
was
We did a
sick.
whole puzzle and we found a Diamond Island.
Diamond Island.
Right there. I like how it zooms in with the spotlight.
It's just
Straight up Wind Waker.
It's straight up Wind Waker.
There has to be a giant blooper down there. I bet you there was a giant folded blooper fight somewhere in this ocean.
Yeah, probably.
maybe. We will never know.
An opening.
What were we talking about? We were talking about some deep stuff.
The
the
potential
evil?
to be evil.
I thought about it because I wanted time to think about it, and yes.
I feel like I could say yes. Yeah, I could be
But-
evil if I wanted.
Well, like, where do you think that comes from?
I don't think I'd be.
From where it comes from?
Yeah, like, you say you have the ability to do an evil action. Where does that come from?
Me?
My ability of
Well, like, yeah, but what part of you? Like, were you born with that ability?
No,
Where did it come from?
observation.
society. Like I've
Well,
seen some anime. I'm like, I can do whatever he did.
Well, like, so, like,
Like I was not born with that. Someone had to teach it to me.
someone had to teach you that?
It's just
Then
observation.
what
Yeah.
about, like, animals who hunt when they're, like, born?
That's instinct.
Is that evil? Like, is that...
No,
that
they're
No,
trying
I
to
think
eat.
that's taught.
But is
you
that-
don't see newborns really attack things until they see their mother attack something.
Well, no, like, there are some species, especially a lot of aquatic species, where, like, they're
Sharks.
born and dipped. They
Yeah.
have to hunt on their own.
But that's instinct. That's not.
That would be instinct.
But by that
That's
perspective...
survival. Like I want to survive.
But if you were born
Yeah.
and you killed someone because you wanted to eat, is that evil?
No, because I wanted to eat. That's survival.
But is the act of killing someone evil?
Yes.
Yes.
Then how is that not evil?
Because there's different ways. If I'm gonna kill someone just to kill someone, that's evil.
By the way, this is going.
But
off
if I'm
of
gonna
Wind
kill
Waker.
someone to eat, which I would never do unless I'm really hungry, then I don't think it's evil.
Unless he's hungry. So.
Unless he's hungry.
Because it's like you can't say like lions when they eat someone. right?
Lions.
Like a lion will never attack you unless they're hungry. That's just
That's not true.
That isn't true.
That's
or you bother. But like a lion will not want to kill you. A lion will not go out of the way to kill you.
Yes, it would.
Why?
I honestly think some lions.
Why?
No,
No,
they-
well, you're doing something. Literally, animals will not just attack to attack.
Some
They attack either to defend or because they're hungry. They just don't kill you to kill you.
Most of the time it's territory.
There we
Hippos.
go. There, you
Hippos.
invaded their territory.
Hippos.
Why are you in his territory?
No, hippos are kind of
No,
just assholes.
hippos are assholes. You know hippos
They're my
sweat
favorite
testosterone?
animal.
This is a
Yeah.
weird topic, but and don't bring animals. You can't bring animals into this. That's just we're talking about humans, right?
We're talking about the potential for evil.
Yeah, I don't think people are born evil. That's just my bad. Sorry.
You know, fruit flies have like 96% of human DNA.
Why?
That's wild.
Why do they have that?
I don't know. Let me make
That's
sure.
so
fact's
weird,
right.
man.
Yeah, I know.
You're just throwing this out there.
Yeah, I'm just. You guys want to talk about what we were talking about here? Because I thought it was good.
I forgot what we were talking about.
Wisdom, courage, and power.
Oh yeah. If you have two, the other one just gets fucked.
Yeah, but
But I think
Oh,
power is
what?
the strongest.
Yeah, power's the strongest, but
Yes.
oh god, why did I bring this up?
No, go ahead. Which
Stay
one?
on the bench.
You're over here on wisdom, right?
No, I think wisdom's the first one you should get. I mean, that's what I was talking about. I was like, if you were to pick these in order, you need to go wisdom. Well, actually,
No, you said which one's the best. I was
you
like,
want
it's power.
wisdom.
I agree with power being the best.
Yeah.
If you had to pick one of these, power.
I would pick courage.
Why? Why would you pick courage?
You're
when you
gonna
got
die.
Power?
Yeah, if you've got courage, he's
Yeah,
had power.
that's-
He's gonna kick your ass.
That's the same thing we were talking about earlier, though, with like when you're banging your head on a wall. That takes courage.
Does that take courage?
Yeah,
No,
I don't think that takes
that
courage.
doesn't take courage at all.
it does.
That's just
No.
you being
I
stubborn.
think courage is like when you're courage, you're facing fear. You're facing something. How is banging your head against a wall?
You fear failure.
So you take it out on a wall.
That's just. I mean, that's just the metaphor.
I know where you're coming from, but I don't see that as courage. If anything, I see that as being stupid. Which is why I said like, because remember how many
You got
is it?
50 seconds.
Oh wow.
Next time
We're
I'm
gonna talk about
yeah.
more of this next time.
Look at the ice on this. This was actually nice.
It is nice. Yeah, I think it looks
This
good.
place
Look
got
at
great set pieces.
Look at that hammer bro just hiding. He's coming.
No, that's an ice blow.
Oh yeah, he is an ice bro. He looks green.
You got them. guys are
Ice ball.
ice ball.
Anyways, I think the episode ends here, right?
It does.
Oh, it's
Like
about to
those
end.
seconds.
All right, guys.
Well, like, subscribe, hit the bell.
Yeah.
Comment on if you think you have the potential for evil.
If you followed any of that, just let me know. With a like, or a bell ring, who knows. Bye, guys.
We still have 10 seconds.
Oh, this is embarrassing. Well, what do
I
we
just
do?
left the room. Like,
Yeah.
see you guys.
I'm done.
Look at these crabs.
Bunch of holes.